On the night of August 21st, 1955, two families gathered at a farmhouse near Hopkinsville, Kentucky. It was a simple night where they were hanging out and talking. There were adults, and there were children, and by the end of the night, over 200 rounds of ammunition would be fired. Not at each other, but at something circling the house. Something that refused to die. Into that evening, a man named Billy Ray Taylor stepped outside of the house to fetch water from a nearby well. A simple task, but as he looked up, he saw something descend from the sky. It didn't fall, it didn't crash, it simply descended. He described it as a bright object, silvery and glowing, landing behind the trees near the house. Terrified, Billy Ray ran back inside. At first, no one believed him. Something that they soon would regret. Everyone forgot. They went back to their simple, peaceful night. But less than an hour later, the dogs began barking and then screaming. And that's when the family saw them. Small figures emerging from the darkness. They were described as around 3 to 4 feet tall. They had thin limbs, large pointed ears, long clawed hands, and glowing yellow eyes. Their skin appeared silvery or metallic, perhaps a suit or perhaps their skin, but they were almost reflective. And they didn't walk like humans or other animals. They floated, they glided, or bounced. When one of the creatures approached the house, a man grabbed a shotgun, raised it, and fired. The blast hit the creature square in the chest. A metallic clang. Then the creature flipped backwards, then stood up, completely unharmed. Over the next several hours, the creatures peered through windows. They reached clawed hands inside. They climbed on the roof and peeked out of nowhere, and they reappeared no matter how many times they were shot. Bullets knocked them back with metallic clang again, but they always returned. Terrified, the families loaded into their cars and fled to the Hopkinsville police station. Officers initially assumed it was a hoax. That was until they saw the sheer number of witnesses and the terror in their voice, and the house riddled with bullet holes. When the police returned to the farmhouse, they found no goblins, no footprints, no blood, but also no explanation. Only silence and the lingering feeling that something had been there. So what were the Hopkinsville Goblins? Were they misidentified animals? Some skeptics claim the creatures were great horned owls, with their eyes reflecting the light, and their feathers appearing metallic in headlights. But owls don't grab people through windows, they don't survive shotgun blasts, and they don't continually attack a farmhouse full of people for hours. And multiple witnesses describe the same details independently. Some people believe that they were dressed up monkeys escaped from a nearby circus. Again, another explanation that doesn't make sense. They were most likely extraterrestrials. The glowing object in the sky, the non-human movement, the resistance to gunfire. So many people believe this was a close encounter, and the goblins were not monsters or misidentified animals, but beings just unfamiliar with Earth. Explorers or observers, maybe. Another theory is mass hysteria. Could fear have spread through the group? It's possible, but mass hysteria doesn't leave consistent descriptions, physical evidence of gunfire, or law enforcement documentation. And it doesn't last for 5 hours. Unlike many cryptid stories, the Hopkinsville encounter had multiple adults and children as witnesses. It had police involvement. It had immediate reporting, no financial incentive, and no contradictions in testimony. To this day, no one has ever admitted that it was a hoax, and nothing like it has ever happened again. Which raises an uncomfortable question. What if they weren't attacking What if they were testing boundaries? So, as suddenly as it began, the siege had ended. And by dawn, the creatures were gone. No bodies, no tracks, no answers. Just a farmhouse full of bullet holes and people who would never sleep the same again. Which raises a question. If something surrounded your home and bullets didn't stop it, would you call it a monster or something far worse?